Hello and welcome to Handy Brown Projects, a log of projects that I do with my hands. In a previous project, I did a simple unboxing and installation of an ID cooling Frostflow 120VGA, an AIO cooler designed to replace a stock cooler on a GPU with a 120mm radiator. As I explained, I did this try to divert heat from my GTX 970 GPU, which was making my tempered glass panel hot. However, I ran into two issues. Mainly, although the temperatures of the card ran slightly lower on average, it developed major temperature spikes in excess of 95 degrees Celsius, which turned off the display while gaming. Secondly, by mounting the radiator inside the case, it did not solve the annoyance I had with my tempered glass getting hot, as it simply transferred the hot point on the glass to where the radiator was placed. For the first issue, I first reinstalled the stock cooler to ensure that it was in fact a cooling issue. What I noted is that the card instantly became quieter, albeit still reaching 80 degrees Celsius in moderately demanding titles. On a side note, the stock cooler can cool the card to 70 plus degrees, but results in the following noise. Therefore, the first lesson is that if you have a GPU which has become louder over the years, the first step would be to change the thermal paste. The second thing I realized is that I had wrongly identified the VRMs of my GPU. It was a combination of inexperience and wrongly judging the alignment of the stock cooler, which actually had a plate connected to the cooling fins for the VRMs. These are the VRMs. Upon figuring this out, I also realized that the ID cooling Frostflow 120VGA may also not be designed for my GPU, as the VRM fan is on the wrong side of the AIO water block. So I set out to customize the AIO with a cheap 80mm fan, which I found runs quite softly when connected to the motherboard, even if the RPM speed can't actually be controlled. During the process, I also decided to go a bit overkill by putting thermal pad and heat sinks into any transistor looking things that I saw. I came up with this. To solve the initial thing that was bugging me, I decided to mount the radiator outside the case in a push-pull configuration. 2 radiator screws are small enough to screw through the rear air vents, and mounting it slightly deeper allows the rear exhaust fan to be installed with 2 screws as well. Although it limits access to 1 USB port and the LAN input, I'm satisfied with it, as I have successfully diverted heat from my tempered glass to the outside of the case. The result is something quite novel, but it does work. The max temperature in most settings is around 71 degrees Celsius and hovers around 65 degrees, which is pretty good at 15 degrees below the stock cooling system. So that's it for this video. I hope you found the mods interesting, and thank you for watching. Have a lovely day.